going on, people? Myke C-Town here with another episode of the Vinyl Shit. And hey, do you like records? Because I like records. And if you like records, let's talk about records. Alright, let's get this thing going. First record I'm going to show you, this is the self-titled album from Caulfield. I listened to this off the strength of the cover. Seriously, the cover alone, because I love that cover. It's really well done metallic hardcore. Super heavy, super dirty sounding. If you're a fan of like Older Integrity or Gehenna or that kind of stuff, I think that you'd really be into this. Even like older Ringworm maybe. It's on A389 Records. A lot of the stuff that they put out is pretty much quality. It's really brooding. Some really sad sounding stuff actually, like the slow and kind of sludgy droning riffs. It even has some black metal sounding parts. Like, this is going to sound fucked up, but this is the perfect album to commit suicide to. Like, it sounds that kind of sad. But it's good shit. Next record I'm going to show you. This is a record that should be totally familiar to you guys if you've been watching my channel. But this is Cheschi's Broken Bone Ballads. It's easily one of the best records that I've heard this year. No bullshit. It's fantastic from start to finish. I won't go on and on about this record because I did a full review of it that you guys can check out on my channel. I also had this as #1 in my top 5 albums of 2015 so far. It's on the Dead End Hip Hop channel. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description section down there. This is a nice gatefold pressing of this album. Pictures and some lyrics, which I suggest if you're going to listen to this album, you really pay attention to the lyrics because the lyrics are probably the best part about this album. It's on this nice clear vinyl. Yeah, I don't know if it's limited to anything, but you should go on to the Fake 4 website and purchase it because it's fantastic. Cheschi and Factor Chandelier did a great job with this album. Next record I'm going to show you, this is the newest album from Bill Fay. This is Who is the Sender. If you're not familiar with Bill Fay, he's an English singer-songwriter who put out some great psychedelic folk records in the early 70s. He left music and came back in the early 2000s and picked up right where he left off. I discovered him through David Tibet of Current 93, who covered one of his songs, Jerusalem. Jerusalem! Jerusalem! This record in particular, it's a lot of piano and it's a lot of strings, but it's just absolutely beautiful, man. This guy is an amazing songwriter. But yeah, this is a nice gatefold put out by Dead Oceans. Front cover, back cover, inside, which is really nice. But yeah, if you like psychedelic folk or if you're into like kind of piano loungy stuff that kind of leans towards that folk-ish feel, I think you'd really enjoy this album. Yeah, Nick Cave said Bill Fay is one of the greats. That should tell you something. Next, this is The Great Depression 1. I ran across this album at a Book Nook, which is like a used bookstore that happens to sell records. And it's a little bit beat up, but I think I bought it for like $6. And the only band I was familiar with off of this whole comp, by the way, this is a black metal comp, is Dodsferd. And I had never heard the other bands, Psychonaut 4 and Happy Days. I was totally unfamiliar with, but Dodsferd is a great depressive suicidal black metal band. The other bands I was actually pleasantly surprised with. They're actually really good. Even Happy Days, who has one of the dumbest fucking names in black metal, they're awesome. Just really well-played black metal with a lot of feeling to it. Like you really feel something from the riffs here. But I don't know. I don't know if it's limited. I didn't really look it up. I just kind of bought it off the strength of the cover and the fact that Dodsferd is on it. It's on Talheim Records, which I'm not familiar with either. But it's a nice gatefold. Like I said, my copy is not in the best of condition, but that's okay. I didn't pay much for it. It's also on this really cool red, bright red vinyl. Yeah, it's a great addition to your collection if you're into black metal in general. It's definitely, like I said, it's definitely depressive suicidal black metal, but it's not that cheesy, slow, boring stuff with the vocals. It actually sounds like semi-aggressive black metal. It just sounds like it's really sad and aggressive black metal. Like, I'm pissed, but I'm still gonna kill myself after I kill your bitch ass. Next record I'm going to show you, this is Heaven's Jail Band with Angelmaker. I picked this up at a used record store. I literally picked it up and looked at it. Just off the strength of the cover, because, I mean, that cover's fucking awesome. And then what made me actually really interested in it is the fact that my boy Scott Stapleton, who does Virgin Forest, is also in Phosphorescent, he's on this record, and he never told me anything about this band, but I went and listened to it, and I was like, wow, this is actually really good. It's some really nice Americana mixed with blues rock, mixed with like some folk rock elements. It's a really nice find for those people that like, you know, stuff like Bonnie Prince Billy or Phosphorescent, you know, or even if you, I hate to say this, but even if you like Bright Eyes, some of Bright Eyes' better stuff, then I think you might be into this band. I think the singer has a very interesting voice and a very unique songwriting ability. So yeah, pick this up if you're into some folk rock. I think you might dig it. I don't think this is limited, and I don't think you'd pay more than like $7 or $8 for it if you found it on like Discogs or something. So yeah, Heaven's Jail Band. Alright, we about to get into some tight shit. You ain't ready for this tight shit, bro. You ain't ready for this tight shit? Helloween, Walls of Jericho. The older I get, the more into Helloween I get. I remember getting Keeper of the Seven Keys on cassette from a pawn shop when I was in probably late high school. I picked it up just off the strength of the cover. I knew it was some corny ass metal. And I remember thinking it was awesome, but essentially kind of forgetting about it after a while. Now in my old age, I see Helloween as just as good of a band as like Iron Maiden or Judas Priest. But this is a great album, great heavy metal, power metal, whatever you want to call it, speed metal. This is not one of my favorite, well, it's one of my favorites, but it's not my favorite album by them. I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, it's a nice gatefold inside there, and there's the back cover as well. It's also on this nice white vinyl, Lot Power. I swear, this fucking picture of them on the inside is so good. They look like a bunch of assholes. Fucking white jeans and their goddamn white man's Jericho. Fucking good shit. The next record I'm going to show you, this is Helloween, Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1. This is actually, this and Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2 is probably tied as my favorite stuff by these guys. It's just really fleshed out, really well played, really thought out songs, top-notch musicianship on this one. Great riffs, the leads are just fucking insane. But I was stoked to find a copy of this on Discogs for so cheap. And then it was supposed to be like a German pressing, I think it said, or a Polish pressing maybe. And when I got it, I'm like, oh, so Polish pressing is Polish for bootleg. Because this is, I don't think this is an official Polish pressing as it was trying to make it seem. This looks like it's a cheap bootleg. But it does say in the corner, 1988, Polski Nagrama, made in Poland. Yeah, it was probably made in Poland, but it was bootlegged in Poland. This is not no official shit. Like, you can tell, like, it looks like a fucking screen printed cover. Or it looks like some cheap shit. Yeah, man. But that's okay. That's okay. I love this album, and I'm okay that it's a bootleg because it doesn't sound real bad. It doesn't sound real good either. But that's alright, you know. You win some, you lose some, dude. Next record I'm going to show you, this is Sadistics Ultraviolet. What's to say about this record? I reviewed it on my channel. If you dig through the playlist for solo reviews, you'll see it there. But yeah, this album gets better and better the more I listen to it. This really should have been in my top 5 for last year. Because the more I listen to it now, the more I think it's better than some of the records that I listed in my top 5 for last year. But it's just really dope alternative hip-hop with a really cool, almost psychedelic atmosphere to it. And the vinyl pressing that Fake 4 did for this just looks really, really, really nice. Like that cover with the raised lettering was really nice. The back really, really pops. It's on this nice, almost magenta colored vinyl. Really nice, man. I bought this from Fake 4, and I suggest you guys do the same thing. These guys need your support. They're putting out music that actually matters. So yeah, so make sure you pick this up. You can order this and that Broken Bone Ballads that I showed earlier directly from the Fake 4 website, and they're actually pretty reasonably priced. This record I'm going to show you this edition of the vinyl shit. This is Souvenirs, You Fear in Me. I mentioned this record before because it was on my my top 25, I think it was, non-hip-hop albums of 2014. It was on that list because this is a fucking fantastic record. It sounds like 90s emo, but it doesn't sound like, you know, some cheap copy. It literally sounds like this was recorded in the 90s. You know, if you liked Mineral, Texas Is the Reason, Sunny Day Real Estate, Braid, any of those great old school Christie Front Drive, any of those great old school emo bands, like, I think you would absolutely love this record. So I'm not going to go on and on about this because I have a story to tell about this record. So if you know anything about this record, you'll see that the cover looks a little bit different than what you're used to. That's because Other People Records, they listed this as limited to 30 copies. So on the website, this is what you see. Now the limited to 30 copies version of this, it has 3 extra songs and this alternate cover. Here's the thing. When I got it, I realized that it was not really an alternate cover. This is just a piece of paper that slides into the front of the sleeve. What I also noticed is there are no extra songs on this record. The 3 songs come as a digital download via a card that is sent with this album. Now here's my problem. When I got this, I was very confused because it didn't say that on the description of the website. So I emailed them multiple times, which they did not respond, and then they finally hit me back after I threatened to file a complaint through PayPal because I really thought they'd sent me the wrong record. And they were just like, no, you got the right record. The 3 songs are a digital download. My problem was I paid $5 extra for this, which I thought was a limited edition record. I thought this was the cover. I also thought the 3 songs were on the fucking vinyl, which they were not. I'm not trying to say that Other People Records are a bunch of thieves, but what I'm saying is they worded this extremely fucked up. How are you limiting this to 30 copies if all you're doing is you're sliding a fucking piece of paper in the front of it? Your printer would only print 30 of these? Give me a break. And the digital download card, you only can do 30 of them? That's stupid. So you're making this sound like it's some limited edition record when it's really not, and that's not cool. And I think after I brought it to their attention that this was worded fucked up, at that point, if they really didn't notice, they should have said, hey dude, sorry, we really didn't think about that. Thanks for bringing it to our attention. They didn't do that. Instead, they just stopped replying to my emails, which I was very respectful, you know, whatever. So I'm just saying, I still like this band. I'm really hoping that this shitty 30 copies bullshit was not their idea. I'm hoping it was just the stupid-ass label. But if you want to buy this album, buy it from the band. And do not buy the limited edition version because it's bullshit. So yeah, Souvenirs, You Fear in Me, great record. As far as Other People Records, fuck you as a staff record label and a motherfucking crew. I don't fuck with you at all. I will never buy anything from them again just because, sorry, as a record collector, I find that kind of business to be a bit shady. Sorry, you guys might think I'm being a little whiny bitch, but I don't think that shit was cool. So anyway, that's it. So that's it for this edition of the Vinyl Shit. As usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you. And I will see you guys next time. Alright? Peace, bitches!